craziest bastards I've ever met in my life. I love everyone.
What's going on, you crazy bastards? You're back here with Rob Kimball from sonsofwrestling.com for a TNA Impact Wrestling review. Now we're starting off the show with Austin Aries coming down to the ring with his decision because he won the Gold Rush last week, and he gets to choose any belt that he wants to go after. And he feeds into the crowd. He wants the crowd's reaction here, and he goes, should I go after Gail Kim for the Knockouts title? Funny. Should I take on the tag team champions in a 2-on-1 handicap? Makes no sense, right? Should I go after the X Division Samoa Joe? And the crowd gets a little rowdy about that. And before he can go on to Bobby Lashley, and I'm thinking to myself, that damn title, the TV title that Abyss chewed up and ate and swallowed and got rid of. Anyway, point is, the Samoa Joe's music hits. He comes down to the ring, really doesn't give him much of a decision and tells him he wants to fight. He's this the X Division champion, and then we get a back and forth, a few words, and Austin Aries tells him that, I once was the longest reigning X Division champ and TNA World Heavyweight champ. Good shit. I cannot wait for this match. It goes on. We do get this fight, and telling you what, match was just sick. Really good shit. Submissions back and forth. Physicality was just awesome. The crowd gets pumped after Aries nails the suicide dive, and then he gets that, comes back in, and then turns this into a brainbuster. Yes, Austin Aries did get Samoa Joe up for a brainbuster. It wasn't the prettiest brainbuster, but he did get him up and slammed him down. He didn't get it all, obviously. His body frame just can't do that. So anyway, we get a kick out. And this turns into Samoa Joe's Coquina Clutch and Austin Aries taps. Damn, but hey, Samoa Joe's still X Division champ. That's good in my book. Comment down here. Tell me what you think about Samoa Joe. Where's he going next? Because the guy seems to like to fight. So that's good. Hell yeah. Then we have EC3 backstage, and Rockstar Spud approaches him asking him why they haven't hung out in weeks. And well, EC3 he goes ahead and tells him, you just do your job. And then we have Kurt Angle and the Wolves in his office, and Kurt Angle seems pumped. They're discussing on what they're choosing for the stipulation, what kind of match that they're going to have for the tag team titles against the Team 3D and the Hardys, and Angle claims it's going to be match of the year. Then we have EC3 and Spud to the ring, and EC3 just bullying the shit out of Spud, blaming him for everything. He can't stand him. His real friends hang out on yachts and this and that, and he's in a little studio apartment with his shitty looking clothes, and then he tells him it looks like his clothes came from a used toilet store or some shit like that, and he rips the pocket off the blazer, and he says, are you gonna cry? Gonna cry. He wants him to cry, and well, he won't do it, and EY's music hits. EY comes down. He does not tolerate this bullying bullshit, and basically he explains to Spud that this is going to keep going on and going on if you hang out with this guy, and why don't you just hit him? It's gonna be this or that. Why don't you just hit him? Spud won't react. He goes, oh, I will then. And EC3 was ready for it. And then this turns into an impromptu match. It was supposed to happen later. And really good shit. And EC3, man, rocking. And Eric Young doing really well. It's good to see him back in the ring a little more often because we had a nice little break there. Anyway, the Spud's torn, doesn't know what to do. Finally, Eric Young, in control, drops the giant best elbow in the business, and Spud goes for it. Takes the leg of EC3 and puts it on the rope. The ref didn't see it, but he does see the leg on the rope. And this is enough of a distraction, and he calls Spud over for a little face-to-face on the ring apron, and EY kicks him in the Spud. The ref turns his back, and EC3 capitalizes with the low blow and the 1%er for the win. And EC3 demands Spud to raise his hand and separate the ropes to allow him to leave, and he doesn't invite him along. So, what happens between EC3 and Spud? Match? Absolutely. When's this going to happen? Bound for Glory, maybe? Hopefully, that would be something cool to see. I don't know, with British Boot Camp coming up down the road, I mean, getting Spud involved with a match, he's already in the storyline, so why not? Comment down here, what do you guys think? Then we have Ken Anderson and Chris Melendez backstage, and they plan on taking it to MVP and Kenny King for that sick, disgusting act, and that's the way it's going to roll. Then we have Gail Kim versus Havok for the Knockouts title, and well, Gail Kim coming out to the ring. During her entrance, Havok attacks from behind, and guess what? Gail Kim doesn't give a shit and goes right after Havok. Just awesome. The crowd is freaking intense with this. Match hasn't even started. The bell has not rung, and the crowd is yelling, "This is wrestling." And it was awesome. Really good knockout stuff without it even being a match, because here in the end, let me tell you what, Gail Kim was phenomenal here, and Havok is a very big woman. She gets her up, Gail Kim up, with her arm behind her back and slams her down to the mat outside of the ring, and it appears to be a big shoulder problem here. Trainers and the refs surround, keeping Havok back, so this match never did start. And later on, we'll talk a little more about that. Now, the Wolves come down to the ring to announce their big match of the year type of what they're choosing here. Kurt Angle believes it's going to be match of the year. And we go on and on and on, and guess what? Team 3D cuts this off, comes out, and we get heel, Bully, and Devon. Great shit, because now they were all like buddy, all three tag teams here. And now finally, you gotta have a villain here. And Bully, why not? Comes out and tells them, you know what, you guys are good, but you're not great. And we are, and we're gonna take those belts. And then we get the Hardys coming down to the ring. And Matt Hardy goes on to say that we're gods, we're at this level. You guys are all here and we're here. In 20 years, we've done this, we've done that, and this is true. Hardys and Team 3D, hell yeah. They have been the best tag teams pretty much in the last 20 years. Absolutely. Can't deny that. And finally, fucking Davey Richards gets pissed, snaps, and he says, listen here, we're the champs. We're going to prove it to you that we are great. And who are they going to be talking about in the next 20 years? Finally, Kurt Angle gets pissed off, comes out to the top of the ramp. He says, this is it. You guys, after they started brawling, that is, and everybody, you could see the writing on the wall. The Wolves had chairs, the Hardys had ladders, and Team 3D had tables, so you knew where this was going. The crowd starts chanting TLC. Well, in TNA, it's called something else, and we get Full Metal Mayhem after Eddie Edwards announces it, because Kurt Angle says, just tell us what it is. Finally, that's going to be great shit. Full Metal Mayhem. Hell yeah. Then we have Mr. Anderson and Melendez backstage, and they run into Kenny King and MVP, and this was funny. Mr. Anderson, man, the guy's comedy, seriously, and he's got a mean streak, so really good shit. And he wants Kenny King. He said, fuck it, you know what? And then MVP steps in for him. No. He takes that match, so we're gonna have Kenny King versus Mr. Anderson. But before that happens, we have Gail Kim backstage with the trainer. Kurt Angle comes in. What's going on here? She's got a separated shoulder, but she refuses to back down. She wants her match tonight against Havok, so that's going to happen. And then we move on to Manic with James Storm and Sonata coming down to the ring versus Shark Boy. Shark Boy's back, and Shark Boy is selling being very unhealthy, and he blows up in this match big time. And, well, Manic has a field day, but he won't pin him. until James Storm allows him to pick up the victory. And it was good shit. And James Storm's got this thing going. It's awesome. Then we have Team 3D backstage, and they swear they're going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame as 25-time tag team champions of the world. And then we move on to Mr. Anderson versus MVP, and Anderson is just going at it. And then what he did the awesome fucking roll, almost pinned, very close, and then we go for mic check, but Kenny King jumps up, interferes, interrupts, distracts, and then Melendez yanks him down, but this allows the pin from MVP to pick up the win. Simple roll-ups. Yeah, so it is what it is, but Melendez is like, damn. It was pretty cool to see Melendez get his hands on Kenny King there for a moment. We'll see where it goes. Comment down here, guys. Then we have Bobby Roode coming down to the ring, and he calls Bobby Lashley down. He has something that he needs to let him know. Anyway, Bobby Lashley comes down to the ring. Of course, MVP and Kenny King follow behind. And Bobby Roode breaks it down, and he says that first time, 2 weeks ago, that you hit that spear on me and I kicked out at 2, you had doubt in your eyes. You know, you see it. There was a different face. You were shocked, basically, he's saying here. And he says yes later on down the road. You hit a second one for the pin, but all I want is one more match, because there is doubt that Bobby Lashley is better than Bobby Roode here. He's trying to get inside the head, and he says, just get one more match. We blew the roof off the place. Let's do it one more time. And this is getting Bobby Lashley pumped up. You can see that he wants to. He wants to have another match because he wants to be the best, and he doesn't want any doubt at all. And MVP cuts this off. Whoa. The champ's answers no. Because he's seen that Lashley was about to say yes. And anyway, they exit the ring, and Lashley looks a little like, hey, man, I want to have this match. But MVP just cuts it, and they leave, leaving Bobby Roode in the middle of the ring. And at this moment, in my personal opinion, and if you guys would like to comment down here, wouldn't it have been awesome for him to just throw out a little comment about you going to let that little man speak for you? Who are you? You're the greatest champion, the beast. And get inside his head just a little bit more. But he didn't, and that's the way I think they should have went with it. And just gave him the yes right then. And that would have been great. So down the road, we'll see where Bobby Lashley goes, and he does have another MMA match lined up. Kicked ass in that first one, so he's going to be, the dude's a beast, alright? Simple as that. Bobby Lashley's a beast, and he's a good TNA heavyweight champion, and he doesn't, he's a heel, but man, he would make a fucking awesome babyface, because he doesn't play by any heel tactics at all. He just is a badass son of a bitch. Simple as that. Next up, we have a determined Gail Kim defending her Knockouts championship against Havok. She wants this match, and well, obviously Havok's going to attack the separated shoulder. They must have popped it back in, put a little bit of tape on it, let her go for it, but it's clearly hurt. Anyway, Gail Kim is going for everything that she's got. Man, she is doing a really good job for only having one arm against a beast like Havok. And Havok, she's after that shoulder, which is a smart move. Heel or not, you go after the injury. You want the championship. And here in the end, she just pulls out the victory. Just too much damage to the shoulder of Gail Kim. Too much pride to not do this match. She didn't have to. And Gail Kim loses the TNA Knockouts Championship belt. And Havok, Jessicka Havok, your new TNA Knockout Champion. Wow, what do you guys think of that? Down here, she's only been here for like a month. already champ. That's making waves. Where do we go with Bobby Roode and Bobby Lashley? Holy shit, EY, where's he getting interjected in this little thing with EC3? Spud, where's he go next? Guys, let me know down here. All sorts of good shit. Melendez and Mr. Anderson, will they just end up becoming a tag team? That's the way for Melendez to be in there. He can't be a singles competitor, I don't think. I mean, the guy has tons of heart and talent. He you know, but him and Anderson, if you team them up, screw it. And James Storm, man. The Storm family. What do you guys think of that? That's all badass shit. And why was a Shark Boy out there? Anyway, it was a decent Impact Wrestling in Pennsylvania, Bethlehem. We finally were out of New York City, which New York City was just phenomenal. And if you could have thrown an extra 5,000 people in the stands here, this would have been amazing. It just makes it a little quiet. You know, it's like sort of like NXT with the way it's a small crowd, low lighting. It's not that huge blow up in your face, crazy shit. But in the end, it's awesome wrestling. Austin Aries, Samoa Joe, come on, man. That was awesome. You don't get that other places. So tune in to TNA Impact Wrestling. Follow me on Twitter at Rob Kimball Brand. Go to sonsofwrestling.com. Get yourself some cool ass t-shirts and some hoodies. It's getting cold out there, folks. Plan ahead and support pro wrestling. That's all I got to say about that. Support it, and it will continue to grow. And don't feed into all the bullshit rumors out there. Simple as that, folks. It was fun. See you guys next week. Peace.